Hi, what new possibilities will you create? Today's guests will share their story and provide insight. From my network to yours, let's get to it.
I'm Captain Mowbray, author, motivational speaker, career consultant. When you have a mental game plan for change, you're ready for anything. In life, if you always stay in a state of go, then you can never be in a state of stop. G, gratitude is one of the most essential supplements that you can feed your mind, your body, your soul, your being. The pros and cons of seeking employment at this time, and you got to be in the game to be found. Check in, check up, and check forward. When you become good at being efficient, companies want more efficiency. There is no excuse to not be connected. How do you now approach relationship networking building in what is becoming a more virtual? You need to re-engineer the way that people and teams use technology to particular problems. Understand what's the problem you're trying to solve.
Correct.
That's going to drive you to the result. If you always have to have a pivot. We have to have multiple streams of income.
Yes.
We don't stay still. It's about how do we stay in a state of go.
My bad.
You have to be grateful for the change, just as you're grateful for the.
Hey, what's going on?
All right, now I can hear you.
Where you at? I know where you at.
I'm in my studio. I'm in my studio in my basement.
I love it.
Yeah, Sevy's upstairs. My son is upstairs. We put a movie on for him, so we'll see if that holds him upstairs.
So your artist size right there, your mommy size upstairs. And
That's
you finished
right.
your work day, right?
Yes, I did.
Wow, this is good.
We're treating Thursdays almost like Fridays at my company, so it's it ebbs and flows,
Oh yeah.
The week is going to be different.
Give a little snippet of who you are. Go to repeat yourself again.
Yeah.
Give a little snippet of who you are.
All right, so hi everyone. My name is Jaime Escarpeta. I live in Westchester, Pennsylvania. I am an artist. I'm also a mom. I have a 5-year-old son named Sebastian, and I'm an experienced medical device marketer. So I've got about 14 years of progressive marketing experience, working with things from like laparoscopy to robotics. And now I'm working in the trauma space, which means that, somebody gets broken bone, they have a fracture, we fix those fractures, help restore their life.
So how's that transition been, being home now and not being physically in that space to engage with different teams and build products? Curiosity on that.
Yeah, it's been interesting. So I work with a lot of R&D people, so research and development, and a lot of meetings, a lot of, we're using Teams or Zoom or Skype, just depends. It's been interesting. We're trying to accelerate some timelines too, so everybody's just like really super focused. But I find in general, I'm also homeschooling my son.
How old is he now? How old?
He's 5.
Oh, so that's that age, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of mommies are joining right now. I saw a few.
I'm so grateful that I get to be his teacher full time right now because I get to see things that I wouldn't otherwise see,
True. Well, good. Thank you. Hey, it's 5 o'clock. We're at the top of the hour. I appreciate you for joining and all of those who are joining as well. This is awesome. And we're treating more in a QA format. I mean, folks have asked, I asked the question, should I do live? And I want to make sure we're intentional. And so one thing I shared before is how to help my network build awareness. What are we doing this time, right? Uncertainty. What possibilities we will create, as well as what's some leave behind skills and tools we can leverage. And so I thought, why not take my network to promote the network? And so you guys, you are instrumental. I'm so blessed to have you kick us off with your mom, artist, and corporate America, and working from home and doing all of it and still smiling. And so I wanted to make sure I create a platform for the network to ask questions. And I have a couple of questions to get us started. The theme is more around what possibilities will we create. And so I'd love to get your thoughts and what's coming to mind, what's been great for you.
Yeah, so thanks again for having me here. I really feel grateful. to be able to leverage this platform to share a little bit about what I'm doing. This is my heaven. And actually it's wonderful because Sebastian and I come down here often and we're creating wonderful memories as well. So I'm really, really, really blessed to have this space. Yeah, very grateful.
He's a little artist himself, right? He's a little artist too.
I'm actually looking, so I would pan around, but I probably mess up the positioning. But like we write, it's an unfinished basement, right? So we like write on the walls. He's got all sorts of drawings on the floor. So yeah, we love it. It's fun.
I love it. So let's dive in there. I'm gonna ask a question while folks are coming in and they think of questions too. So for you, what possibility are you creating, or have created, or will create? What's your possibility?
Yeah. So it's obviously multifaceted, right? Because I've got a lot going on. So with respect to, I'll start with home, right? So home, we're home, we are home. And I just find, a lot of gratitude every day being here with my son. I think that from a corporate perspective, we were talking the other day about how we have the corporate culture and we have the home culture. And now it's like, there's like this weird merging of the two, but home is going to win. And so we're seeing a lot more authenticity right now, I think, with our people that we interact with every day. And so I find opportunity in that to engage with people on a different level. I mean, talk about, diversity in the workforce. One of the biggest struggles that we as Black people struggle with is just being authentic, feeling like it's okay to be authentic. So I find a lot of opportunity there from a corporate perspective to kind of engage, especially the younger professionals, and provide some leadership there with respect to that.
What's your artistry side?
So about my artistry. Obviously, just a little bit of background. As an artist, you want to engage with people. You want people to see your work face to face, right? Because you lack the ability to see the textures, all the details in photographs. A lot is lost, right? So obviously this poses a challenge, but I think that it also opens up a lot of opportunities. Already, I think the first few days of this whole quarantine thing, I saw a lot of people posting about, you can do like virtual museum tours, virtual this, virtual that. And so it's just opened my mind in so far as how I think about how I can share out my artwork. And then on another level, we'll talk more about kind of, creating a space of peace during this time. But I think that journaling is wonderful, and I really want to help connect my audience with journaling. So taking a concept all the way from concept when I first get that vision to all the way to the completion, documenting, video, writing in a blog, something like that, to help connect with my audience. I think that people really appreciate that. So
dive into it a little bit, because I'm always and it's just very weird. I'm in Seattle. I'm actually blessed. Yes, guys, we actually do have sun.
I'm looking at you. I'm like
laughing. It's actually sun. I'm actually getting blinded by the sun, which is a very rare moment to stay in Seattle. So I'm going to embrace it and not complain. You hit something that's key from an artist. I'm always admire and have a lot, some close friends like you in my life that are artists, and what I see is consistent. Like you just mentioned, is your placement, your vision, your home. Can you talk about that a little bit more? I want folks to understand, because you can't replicate that, right? So
yeah.
But you kind of mentioned your journaling too. So go a little about that. That's key.
Yeah, absolutely. So how I get my visions as an artist, as a creative, is they usually come to me like when I'm either meditating or I'm just in a very peaceful state. It could be like that time between like when you wake up or when you first like regain your consciousness after being asleep and then being fully up. It could come then. I get my visions, and they're abstractions, always abstractions, never of people or like physical objects, right, that exist in this world. I receive my visions, and then I take that gift, and my next job is to, okay, this looks beautiful in my mind's eye. And you know what I mean by my mind's eye? Like,
no, share that. I do, but then share with the audience. What does that mean?
Yeah, so my mind's eye is obviously, you know, you think about abstract thoughts, right? Abstract thoughts, I think everybody knows what that is, right? We cannot necessarily translate those abstract thoughts to paper unless without some process, right? And so I think that just taking it back to like an image, a vision of an image, of an abstract image, I think that it's the same thing. I take that vision, and I then challenge myself. How can I make this beautiful to the physical eye? How can I use different materials? You know, go to my website, you'll see like I'm obsessed with lines. I love lineage, and there's a story behind that which I can talk about. But I think that, you know, one of the things is like, well, how many ways can I make a line? How can I really replicate what my vision was in my head and get that as close as possible on canvas or on whatever substrate I'm using, and communicate that with the world.
I love that, because as you're talking, a lot of that is transferable in the sense of what we are feeling right now, right? In the space that we're home. I was in Philly last week. I always represent Philadelphia for those who watching.
Can't see it because of the sun. Too much sunshine in Seattle.
But when I came back here after being over there for a week and to make sure I was being socially responsible and stay in the house, it kind of all crashed at me. And I was getting overwhelmed because I love people, I love humans, and I love giving back. And I felt stifled because I couldn't help, because people were getting laid off. People were getting sick. It was too much. I was overwhelmed. But then I learned to recenter, kind of from what you're saying, and be present. And when I was able to get present, I saw possibilities. And I reached out to my network, asked for thoughts, that fed said possibilities. So similarly, what you're sharing is how you take from your artistry and that third eye. I love how you describe it for the audience. And then take that back to, for us, how folks can take that concept and apply it to, hey, I'm here, I'm home. I feel trapped. I'm having anxiety about not knowing what's coming, to uncertainty. How should we manage? What's your recommendation? That's
a great question. You put it so well. I really have, I think it falls into 3 buckets, and they're all kind of, they're related. The first one is prioritize how you find your peace. So whatever that is for you, you know, not advice, like a bad advice, but you know, find throw some back. But you know, find your peace, and prioritize the time that you need, and how you do that. So it could be meditation, it could be exercise, it could be whatever, but really make the time to prioritize that time, to prioritize those activities, so that you're, you know, putting yourself first in certain things, right? I think we don't do that enough, and this is for some of us, not all of us. It's a time when, you know, we're home and things are just, our routine is different, and we have allowances here and there to do certain things. So take advantage. The second one is what you were saying, is to be present, right? To live in the present moments with a present mindset. So so I'm going to say that again. Live in the present moments with a present mindset. And I think that you know, we constantly relive the past, and I think that we don't even realize that we do it. I think that so dive into that. So think about when you wake up in the morning, not you, but let's just say somebody, right? Okay. When Jesse wakes up in the morning, all right? So I'm going to get a little bit deep with y'all, okay? Jexi has a light. I believe that everything, and this is scientifically proven, every person, every object has a light, has a vibration, has a light field around it. And when Jexi wakes up in the morning, he is thinking, you know, maybe first, okay, I've got my agenda for the day. I've got my phone right here. I've got, you know, whatever, my children, whatever, you know, all these different things that are pulling our energy. We have bad experience A, bad experience B, you know, good experience A, good experience B, all these different things that are in our heads. And if you can imagine, I actually have a graphic for this. One second. Here we go. So take a look at this. This is Jexi.
Oh,
look at my artistry.
Where's my beard?
Oh, okay. Here you go. So
you're an artist. I got beard. You know, there you go.
So this is Jexi, right? And Jexi has all of these distractions every day, right?
Oh.
That as soon as you wake up, they are taking your energy, taking your time.
Put it close to the camera. Let me
okay. See that? It's all backwards.
Nice.
But this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But so essentially, what's happening is that you are, if you're giving energy to things that don't serve you, let's put it there. If you're giving energy to things that don't serve you, your light field is being depleted. And by the end of the day, Jesse's like, man, like, you know, I'm just worn out. But if you are feeding your light, if you are continuously surrounding yourself with people who serve you, like people who their energy serves you well, and there's a mutual benefit there. If you're putting food into your body that serves you, we can talk about that. I have some resources here that I want to share with everyone.
Good.
Things like that, you know, we need to really be mindful and protect our light. And that's really the third thing, which is to maintain it and do whatever we need to do.
You're speaking to my soul, because I do feel my light's I'm being drained. And because normally I will get refueled by people. And so you are providing to my light and giving me energy. And people in my life give me energy. And sitting, and my son, he's here. He's in his room. We sleeping right now. But he's a gamer. He gives me energy as well. And so I'm thinking about those in isolation and by themselves. They're similar. I was speaking to a young lady yesterday, feeling the same thing, and she was literally in tears. So what do you do to keep your light strong? Like, what's your method? Give us any nuggets to give away.
Yeah, so I am here with my son, but man, I do miss adult interaction. I think I'm doing what a lot of people are doing, which is I'm connecting with my family and friends daily. I mean, I have Zoom meetings like twice or three times a week. I know some people are doing more. You know, wine and, you know, cheese. I don't eat cheese. So
hey, where's my wine cheese night? Hey!
But like, yeah, so, you know, just doing that sort of thing with my girlfriends. I see some of them are online. That's cool. And, you know, just really, again, I'm able to, like, my friend Erica, we can talk about anything. And I mean, she's just one of those people, like, I can have some abstract idea and she gets it, you know. So find your tribe, like, keep your tribe close even during these times. That's what I was saying.
Say it again.
Find your tribe and keep them close, especially during these times.
Yeah, it's so true. I'm blessed, and for those listening, I'm blessed that I've been seeing folks like you're here now, and you probably saw it too. Phone calls, people I hadn't spoke to in 8 years, 10 years. Some of my fraternity brothers, now we have a weekly call now. Like, we're just touching with each other, seeing my all these brand new babies entering life around me, getting a chance to interact. It's so cool. So to your point, we can choose to focus on the uncertainty and get stuck there, like how you said, as opposed to choosing to be present to see what possibilities we create right now and taking action right now to make it reality. And so it's not just a pipe dream. It's not just it's actual steps. Like even as us meeting here. I had to first figure out who I want to engage, who should I talk to, who's some powerful, inspirational people in my life. You are definitely one of them. And what questions do we ask the audience to care about? So just to folks to listen, just be very intentional, being very present to it. And that gives you energy, and that gives you focus, and that gives you drives your purpose in life.
Absolutely. And to build on that, I mean, we talked about being present a lot, but you know, when you relive the past, you're not really realizing putting focus on the possibilities for the present moment. For, you know, you're so busy reliving those emotions from the past, bringing them forward, that you're not able to focus on, you know, what new possibilities you can drive. So yeah.
I would say take to the other side too. So look in the past, or I call it like, you know, hold on to the past and not letting it go, keeps your mind trapped. As a result, limits yourself. And so you don't see possibilities because your own mind is blocking it. And your own mind becomes the reality that you created. And as a result, you're not taking any effort.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I agree with that. It's totally true. I mean, I think about even with disease, right? It has been clinically proven that people who have a disease, let's say they have like a chronic pain or some sort of disease that's been with them for a long time, it's really debilitated them. They have this emotional attachment to this pain. This is what they expect to experience. But there's some workshops, and it's actually in one of the books that I'm going to recommend. There's been some workshops where they take these patients and they do meditations with them, and they have them really focus in the present moment and create a new reality for themselves, a new to be able to really connect with that new possibility of being healthy. And they showed wonderful results. So I think that the mind is so powerful.
I also too say, even from looking forward, anxiety. Right, I'm sure anxiety is high, and what I define anxiety, and this is my definition from sources, is just us having this fear of a future that doesn't actually exist. What I mean by it is we don't know. Did I know 2 months ago? Shoot, did I know 2 weeks ago? You and I will be having this conversation right here in my couch because of what's happening 2 weeks ago. No, right? And so we realize that we really don't know tomorrow, right? And we have all this fear around tomorrow and creates anxiety. We're not being present today. We're missing what we're in this moment here. What's your thoughts on anxiety? What's your perspective there? Because I know a lot of folks are balancing that, saying, I don't know, I'm gonna get sick. And they put that energy into their space about, you know, coronavirus and things like that. What's your advice and perspective?
I mean, you said it very well. I think that so to keep a perspective on this, and I really don't have a tremendous amount of fear around this, because I feel like if this is meant to take me out, it's meant to take me out. Not to get morbid on you, but you know, that's supposed to happen. That's supposed to happen.
Also thirsty for this,
yeah. So this is what I do, and I meditate on this often. I think about how small we are with respect to the entire universe that we know so little about. One of my passions is studying, you know, the stars and the planets, and understanding, you know, what other solar systems that we know about are out there. You know, all of that is just, it's so massive. We can't even wrap our heads around it. But on this earth, I feel like we as human beings, we tend to be very self-centered. We tend to be very like, you know, oh, we're not top of the food chain. You know, we are very, very small. And what that helps me do is really process the idea that, you know, it's okay. You know, I try not to get so upset about small things.
Where are your resources to read for realizing new possibilities to deal with chronic? I love it. Great question.
Great, yeah. So I have a couple here. So this one is called, can you see it? It's It's called Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza. Have you heard of him? Jesse,
No,
have you heard?
share more.
So this
By the way,
guy.
when I say no sometime, I'm just saying no for the audience.
Okay.
When you
Fine.
explain it.
All right. So Joe Dispenza, he is really, 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 I think he's really smart. I haven't met him, but I love what he's doing in this book because it really drives a connection between spirituality and science. And, I talked a little bit about light fields, and I did bookmark something. This is the book. Elizabeth asked that question.
Good.
So this is the book, and you can see here, we're looking at figures of people and then their respective light fields. And, the before and after the workshop. And so this book, it really does tie in science and spirituality. It's called Becoming Supernatural.
Nice.
And also I think there's some interesting research that was done, not necessarily exclusively to disease, but it's called Kirlian photography, Kirlian. Kirlian photography is basically studying the light fields, visualizing the light fields around any objects, and really any human being. You can actually see the light space around an object. You can do this with food. It's I'll talk about food a little bit in one of my reference recommendations here. But you can do that with food. You could do that with people, and I just think that it's really an interesting way of looking at life. The other book is Transforming Diversity into Joy and Courage, and this book is about the 37 practices for people who are on the path to enlightenment with respect to Buddhism. And this book, so a little bit about Buddhism for those who may not know, I think that the centering theme with Buddhism is that you need to really maintain centered, and that, when things that happen to you are not positive, or when they are positive, really great things, you you stay true to your spirit regardless, because the worldly things, the things of this world, the theory is that they're just distractions, that they don't matter. And so I picked this book up again when all this coronavirus stuff started, because it really does do a great job of explaining how we as human beings, we become so interdependent on things of this world, the physical things, material things, and our emotions. We're tied to our emotions. Yes. I just wanted to read something really quick.
Please do.
So it's really short, and it's about being mindful of impermanence. And the quote here is, loved ones who have long kept company will part. Wealth created with difficulty will be left behind. Consciousness, the guest, will leave the guest house of the body. Let go of this life. And it's really deep. For me, I thought it was really deep because I tend to kind of relate to the idea of not having like these really deep, strong attachments to things. I think this is a great read, even just as a reference. I'm not on the path to enlightenment, by the way. I just find it really interesting.
No, I like you hit a good point about we add value, we make things real around us, and to your point, we make things matter. Go a little more on that. I totally agree. I realize we think what's real comes from our mindset, and we think our mindset is the truth. It's all we know, not know is our inside voice talking. But give me your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar, actually. I think that we give power to things that, again, don't serve us. And when just going to go a little bit abstract on you, Jesse. Just follow me here.
Hey,
everybody follow me.
Hey, my network knows you my network. We get abstract. You talk to the same like people. We're all like people. Yeah.
So this so I was reading a book about the sun a few years ago, and one of the chapters talks about how, you know, nowadays, you know, we don't really pay attention. We take the sun for granted. It gives so much on this earth life, everything on this earth life, right? Without the sun, we're all done, right?
This is not happening by mistake, right? This is perfect. Perfect. Go ahead. Yeah.
And so, but you know, think about, you know, hundreds of years, thousands of years ago, even in certain societies today, there is worship to the sun. They worship the sun. But at least in the society that I'm in, like, we just take it for granted, and it's just there. Oh, the sun's coming up, you know. And I think about things like that, and it just makes me feel that we really need to, we're so distracted by everything, all stuff, you know, material things, and, you know, all this energy that we get from other people. And we're so distracted by it that we really forget about the, you know, that nature and just the world as it is without us is still it's still a phenomenon. And yeah, I think that helps me kind of balance my perspective, just understanding that.
No, you're spot on. I can tell from how your reflection in your voice and what you're sharing. By being present, you're very present. You listen very present too, and attentively, which allows you to pick up data points, and both from reading the book, you know, hard copy, and also from conversation. I pick up a lot from you, just from this conversation. So thank you from that.
Thank you.
Like, what's some nuggets for folks to stay present, even in a conversation like this here? I mean, what helps you stay centered?
Meditation helps me stay centered. I can talk a little bit about what I do with respect to that, and what I think may be helpful for people who are maybe just trying to get into meditation, or even if you've been doing it for a while and you know, you're looking for some new resources. I just completed the 21-day meditation focusing on abundance. And you guys know that that book, I think it was a book or a podcast, 21 Days to Form a Habit or something like that. I never read it, but I heard about it.
You got it by others.
Yeah.
The collective self. They gave you the put the Cliff Note version. That works.
Yeah. So I have never taken that approach to something. But somebody invited me to this meditation with people that I didn't know. It was just all virtual. No, like, until the end, we didn't do any videos or anything, but it was all just, you know, we had our mantra for the day. We had our task for the day. We were asked to keep a journal and document things and how the different meditations made us feel in certain cases. And really, like, even probe and ask questions. Like, one task was call your mother and ask her, you know, what are her biggest, like, regrets in life, or, you know, what are some things that she wishes she could have done better and when she was younger, and, you know, things like that. And what was really compelling about this experience was that it brought me together with people I didn't know, and we were all on the same wavelength, and it was so cool. Because we all had to say, like, day 1 done, day 2 done, day 3 done at the end of, you know, whatever the task was, right? So I recommend that program in particular was the Deepak Chopra and Oprah meditation program on abundance. And somehow maybe I can share some information on that, but I thought that was wonderful. I think that's a great resource. It helped me stay centered. We started it, like, right when all this started getting crazy.
Really?
So, yeah.
Really?
So it was really helpful.
And
really,
to your point, as far as you can share some of this stuff, what's the good way for folks to find you? Just to make sure I put that out there. I know you guys can see we're connected, so you can find your handle through Instagram. And you also have your own artistry page. Want to say what that is real quick? What's your artistry page?
So my artistry page is Escarpeta, underscore artistry. I know it's a handful. It's my last name. Sorry. I just
Yeah. but they can find it through your page too. So.
Yeah. You can go to my page, which you can see on here, Jaime Escarpeta, and I have a link to it on my art page on that page. So
let's go in your artistry a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Really I would say we're going through right now, success takes endurance is what you always hear. One, do you agree with that? And then two, what kind of struggles have you seen and continue to see as an artist today, current state with what's happening, or general speaking? Get some perspective on that. I'd love to get, do you agree that success takes endurance? And what's some advice for those are either artists already painting and struggling, those who may are considering it? What's your perspective?
Establishing a career in the art world is very challenging. It's mostly like most of the other artistries that you have with singing, anything where there's an audience and you have to have them like what you do, right?
Yeah.
So it is very challenging to establish a voice and to have people really respect you, right? I think that it's not easy, but I think that shouldn't stop anybody from pursuing their passion at all. Just educate yourself and know what tools are out there, and stay true to your vision, because like you said earlier, Jexi, like that's it. Like, you have that vision, that's your vision. Only you can do that, right? And so I think that artists, emerging artists, I'm an emerging artist myself, we need to stay empowered and just not give up. It does take endurance in this space. I think that there is something to be said about connecting with people who can certainly, give you the right tools and connect you with other people who can do the same. So yeah, just stay at it. Keep your passion alive.
You're giving so many nuggets. Like, hey, to one, I'd love to hear for the audience to know a little more about your art. And one of my statements you said about vision is, I think it's still my page, but maybe it used to be for a long time. Maybe it's my Facebook page. It was the power of vision is what drives me forward. Something I wrote when I was like a kid, and it stuck with me for the rest of my life. And so you hit that in personal side. But so thank you for that. Share a little about your art, because your vision, your art you have, and what drives you there. We see a couple pieces behind you. I know it's kind of hard for people on the camera, but be a little descriptive.
I can bring a piece over here.
Bring one over. We live, girl. Bring one over.
So this piece is actually called In Thirds. It's actually a 3-piece panel on wood. And I wanted to bring it closely so that you can see some of the detail. This is actually burlap in the background, copper leaf that's around the borders. These are antique nails that are hammered through the piece. And then inside in the center area, we've got like a heavy body acrylic forming kind of the view. It looks like almost like waves. I'll explain that. And then there's these lines, which are all different textures. And in my art, what lines represent are different experiences, primarily different experiences that we have in life. And some of them are short, some of them are long. They're all different textures. And what I'm able to kind of feel from this and from creating this piece is that we experience all these different things, and some things make us different. They change us. Some things are just whatever, but they all come together for a beautiful picture of our lives. And so this is really about appreciating everything, every struggle, every, heartache, everything that we go through, and that it all is a part of a bigger picture. So So that's what that is about.
Wow. I'm seeing people comment, Jamie, your mind is so amazing and beautiful. Like people think of art, they normally think of this in one fashion. You taking it's an art and really a true craft. Very much appreciate. I mean, wow, like the level of detail and thought. I'm fascinated. How do you even begin? You just use the sketch it first. The thought comes, like you mentioned, it comes out and you sketch it, and then you find the material, and then you make it look wow.
Yeah, wow. It's like I get the vision, and then I challenge myself to like, how can I actually create this on a substrate and make it appealing to the physical eye? And that's really fun for me, because that's when I get to go to the stores. Not now as much, which is unfortunate. But I have a ton of supplies here that I've kind of hoarded.
You're prepared.
Yeah, I'm prepared.
You didn't hoard a bunch of tall people, did you?
No.
Okay.
No.
Make sure you steer across.
Yeah.
But no, that's you. Go ahead.
Yeah, but that's the really fun part, because I like to get really creative in finding things like that are pretty untraditional, right? Insofar as the materials that I use, and that's why I call it mixed media original designs. I don't do prints because I feel like it's lost. All of the love that I put into it, it's kind of lost when I do prints. So.
And I want folks to see and hear, including yourself, you are literally taking creation of a possibility to reality in the art form. Well, you just walk through your mind, your path. It's literally, you had a thought that was from your vision, and you created it. That was the possibility. Okay, what do I need now? Okay, how do I translate that thought into a visual? That was the next step. Now you're taking steps, actual actions. Then you went to the physical store, the act itself, right? Because in between the idea and the result is the action you need to take. You may went to the store, didn't find a product one time, or it wasn't the right color, or you have some breakdown. Like you may have some of that come up, of course, right? That's normal, right? But the fact that you still carry the journey forward, and then put out your beautiful, I mean, that piece alone, I think I've seen other pieces you have too, and go to her website, you guys want to see more. Quite honestly, you guys see it in person. It's kind of hard to truly appreciate it to the full without seeing the different textures and the lines and the material. And you make it real. And I'm sure you're drilling in pieces, hammering.
Yeah.
Pieces, you're cutting. Things happen. You probably break it. It falls apart. Like, oh my God, I got to this point. So that's endurance. You're living the creation of possibility, and you look back with the result. The result happened is your final product, and you move on to the next piece.
Yeah. It's awesome. I mean, I love being an artist. I love it. And I'm not a full-time artist, and but I feel like there's a method to that madness as well.
Correct.
So the question is, how do you find inspiration with so much chaos of negative news? I think it's awareness that this too shall pass in whatever form it will pass. I think my awareness of that really helps me, again, remembering just how small we are relative to everything. That is really helpful to me. Like it's really about controlling or managing whatever I can to make sure that my son is good, make sure that he's thriving, that he's happy, and that we're good in our little world, right? And then when I feel like, just in general, when you take care of yourself, of course, people feel that. People, emanate that they feel that energy that you're emanating. And I was thinking the other day about children, like, so children are like, I've always loved kids, but I look at my son and I'm like, he's just got such a light around him. He's so vibrant. And like, I think it's because kids spend most of their time in the present moment. They're not too worried about the past. Like,
yes.
I mean, that's real talk. So I think again that all kind of goes into how I help manage. I try to manage, my feelings around all this. It is, yeah, it is scary that our loved ones can be impacted by this. I think that that indeed is something that it's unfortunate, but we really cannot do anything besides whatever we can do in our own circles, in our own worlds to control that.
I mean, I joined a little late, but what is that trait you all right? Hey, no, that's a great question.
No, that's a good question.
So,
Yeah, so I have always been a creative. I've always painted ever since I was a young girl. I actually have a picture of me when I was like 4 years old at a canvas, and my mom signed it. She signed it, Jamie the Artist, 1988. Anyway, so yeah, like I've always been passionate about artistry. So the interesting thing here is that I didn't even really start painting like seriously, like for real, until a few years ago. I really said, all right, I'm in this corporate job and I'm not living up to my full potential that I want, right? You can, rise up the ranks in corporate America and, make all this money, whatever. But if you're not fulfilling your own dreams, like what's the point?
True.
And coming to that realization, a big part of coming to that realization was actually meditation and really becoming more centered and understanding that, there's just so many distractions that I was giving, feeding my attention, and they didn't deserve it.
Can you?
Can my son paint? Anyone else in my family? So actually, it's interesting, Erica. So my son, he loves to paint. He loves it. I am so fortunate. I was saying in the beginning, I just love that we're able to utilize this space and create memories down here. He just loves it. And he's now drawing. He's getting more particular with his, details. I just love seeing his evolution. And then as I really got more involved into the world of creatives, because there is a whole cult, a whole world of us. I realized that, just having conversations with my family, there are a lot of creatives. My dad, he's a creative. He's a photographer. I just think he's a creative just because of his personality. My dad is a creative. I have an aunt. I have my cousin. He's in music. So we're all in different stuff. But we're all creatives, most of us.
Yeah. So like you say, start early on too. That's cool. And so I'll leave an open-ended question too. So anything you want to make sure you share with this audience here, from your perspective, just again, you live in the possibilities, and you're making the real, folks that you do every day in your corporate life, your personal life with little guy, and being present to him and your artistry. Anything you want to share to this group here that we haven't covered?
I think we covered it all, but I just kind of to pull it all together. I think we just need to appreciate the time. Find the beauty in it. I know the media is going to try to help us do that. They're going to force messages down our throats, right? Oh, look at the dolphin in the canal in Italy. Look, this is, and that's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Right. That's beautiful, but be intentional, I would say, about finding your own beauty in all of this. Really appreciate the moments of solitude that you do have, so that you can do some internal reflection and just feel what's happening, and all these changes. This is big. I mean, this is huge. So
yeah, you said it perfectly. Is seeing in the focus, being present, and seeing all the beautiful opportunities that come in here in front of us has really been humbling. I think living corporate life, and you do too, it's easy to get distracted. Squirrel. You operate in this rush, anxiety mindset. I gotta get this document done. I gotta get this here done. I gotta get ready for this meeting here. I gotta do this here. And while you're in your actual meeting, you're not even paying attention. I find being at home, some of that elements goes away if you choose. I know some folks are just sitting there in a corner in their house. They probably haven't moved in 3 days. Like, you're not a machine. Like, we are a machine, right. A machine, but we're not that type of machine. And so thank you for that. One of my models that I took personally is NABA, which is National Association of Black Accountants, is lifting as we climb. And you are the embodiment of lifting as we climb. And you say you're just beginning. You bring a lot to the table, man, and we are all present to you sharing these perspectives. So I wanted you to know that from my heart directly, that thank you for lifting and bringing this to the table. I needed it, and I know my followers needed it too. So I thank you for that. And any other closing remarks you want to share before we get cut off in 3 minutes?
No, just let's stay engaged. I love that, people join and ask questions. Let's stay engaged, and I love this format. I love the ability to connect. Let's keep it up. Let's keep doing it.
I like it. Let's get a couple more in real quick. Let's see if fire shoot. You already in. What do you eat?
Oh, we didn't talk about food.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Jesse, we don't have enough time. Okay. This is a book. Okay, I'm just going to end on this. So this is a book called Alkaline Herbal Medicine, okay? I'm on this, I'm not all the way alkaline, but mostly alkaline. I'm trying to get better. This book right here is going to give you a really good introduction to why it is so important to eat alkaline foods, all right? Yeah. So high pH foods. And it's not about like transforming your whole diet immediately. It's about, a moderation of what's very acidic.
I had an idea for you. Can you put in the post you did with this to advertise this event here? Can you add a comment to your own comment below? List out the books that you recommending.
Yes.
So folks can easily, all of them, go to her Instagram page. And you'll see her beautiful face and her beautiful son as this event here. And look at your comments. You can post there and drive some engagement there. I love it because you throwing some big nuggets out here. Here's one last question. Have you seen Tiger King?
No, I haven't seen Tiger King. I haven't. Oh my gosh! Cool. All my coworkers are talking about that.
Hey guys, I appreciate y'all want to say this will be a series, a session, and I already told Jamie she gotta come back again, right, Jamie?
Yes, I'll be back.
So we'll have a series every Thursday at 5 p.m. Central Time. I'm sorry, 5 p.m. PST time, 8 p.m. EST time. Thank you, love.
Yay!
Take care, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Hello, this is Mr. Rose. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to come back every week for new podcast content. Special thanks to my daughter and her team and all their hard work putting this content together. Be engaged. Be aware. Be ready. Be heard. Thank you.